Hey, my download's finished, my upload's resuming. Alarm clock goes off and it lets me know I'm human. Time is limited, so I'll show the world what I can dream. My life is backed up. Let me take you on my time machine from past and future present. Ready as ever to teach the world a lesson, never a second.
What's up, YouTube? Yellow Thunder, Galaxy Stream from Team No Factions, coming at you with a continuation on the series for sighting. So, Pat, what's the origin of this video for today?
Alright, after the last video, a couple of friends I met, it went over pretty well. But one person in particular is named Bamber. He sent me a Facebook message, gave a lot of credit to it. He said it helped him a lot, but what he wanted to see was a follow-up video. And after reading it, I agree with him. I like where he wanted to know. He wanted to know how, not to just what cards to side, but how to side them against the actual decks. I mean, that's a big part of the game. I mean, yeah, you can have the best cards in the game, but I mean, what if you can't fit them all? So that's what we're going to go into. If you want to take a look down here, this is my deck. I haven't changed it at all since Tinley Park. Now, if anyone's been watching, I mean, this is pretty standard for what I build. But there's some things that just can't work right. So, I'm going to scoop this up real quick, but as you can see, 40 cards. Alright. There's 3 steps that I kind of live by when I side into matches. Rule number 1 is, I don't look at my side deck. Not until after I decide exactly what I'm playing against, what I feel his build is, and what I can do that in my deck just won't help me at all. And after I go over those little things in my head, then I touch my side deck. It'll save you time, and it'll make your deck flow better. So, if you look down, my friend here, Kaz, he has a few decks here. We got Prophecy, the Dragoonie Mirror Match, and just Dragons. 3 big decks. This is a very slow deck of the format. Mirror Matches are always hard for anybody, and Dragons are the big deck you're probably going to run into the most. So let's go into it a little bit. Let's say our first one is going to be the Prophecy matchup. Prophecies are very slow, and they search a lot. So I'm going to show you my side deck. What I'm siding is the 2 Dragons. I have these 15 cards to choose from to side in for them. Now, if you pause the video early on, you see my deck, you can see there's a lot of stuff that I really just can't stop. They revolve around normal summons. So, let's say I win game 1, and I'm going to go game 2. Well, cards that I don't need are special summon cards, such as the Vanishing's Emptiness and the Maxis. That right there is 5 cards. After that, I just pick away some engine that I don't need, like game... they're probably going to have a field set up, so Warning is relatively gone. They have small monsters, Bottomless, can be go. And you kind of think through that stuff. And after you decide about, take out exactly what your deck won't need, then you can go in, such as Beat Sticks, Back Row, and of course the big heavy hitters on them. And relatively, it'll all balance out very, very easily. And if you have extra room, that's why there's cards in your sideboard that should be just for generic everything, such as Trapstone. But that's how you need to side against that. Against the Mirror Match, it's going to be a little bit different. The Mirror Match, you need to actually outthink your opponent. The Mirror Match is always very difficult because you know exactly what's going to happen. It's either going to be a all-out brawl or who can get their loot ball first, but honestly, you just got to be able to stop them. So, against the Mirror Match, you don't want to go crazy. You just want to be able to stop them. So cards such as Trapstone become very big because you're going to stop them, you can set up plays, and you can potentially push through the entire loop. Now for my Mirror Match, personally, I know the Giant Field is going to finish with Dragons. So, Electric Virus. And then it's a Field Spell War and Back Row War. So, pretty simple stuff. And then Dragons. Dragons are one I talked about in the last video. Dragons have a good matchup on relatively everything. And most decks don't have as big a plus engine as these guys do. So you're going to have to play something that's a little bit more creative, which is why I choose to run the ref panels. The ref panels are there to make them minus and get me a little bit more plussing. You have to put all this stuff into consideration when you side. Alright. Into it. The last part that I think about when I side into it is what my opponent is. Now granted, I'm giving you my aspect, but what you don't realize is when you're siding, you gotta realize what they're playing. And they know what you're playing. And a good player is gonna side for what your deck is gonna do. So one thing that I think about is making sure to realize what your deck can potentially do without its best cards. So for example, while we're on dragons, I know always side in Electric Fire Sign. And I am accepting of that, because my deck requires it. So one thing that I've learned to do is I've learned to realize my deck's true potential, and I really don't need these two cards. This card just promotes the plussing in your loop, and it just is more max C fodder. Honestly, if you just leave them out, you can just finish with a Stardust and a Gaia Charger. Or a Crimson Blader and Gaia Charger, whatever you want. So I take these out to not only make room, but to hinder what they're siding into. The less synergetic their deck is, the better. Alright. But basically, you have to try to just think about it. Let's recap over. The tips that I gave were, don't touch the side deck, realize what your deck doesn't need, go into the deck, take it out, and then go to the sideboard. Realize what your opponent's playing against, side appropriately for what's not going to hinder your deck. And then thirdly is just realize what your opponent's going to do against you, and make those last changes. But that's all the tips I can give you. I hope this helps you out. He's Galaxy Stream. Good day, guys.
Can't you see that I'm a Mac? Yeah. Put the world at my fingertips. Put the world in the palm of my hand. They gon' say I can't. Well, I'ma show you all I can. Everything I need and everything I never planned. They gon' say I can't. I'ma show you I can.